What's up, folks? You know, they say honesty is the best policy, but through the years I've decided that, for now anyway, honesty is usually the best policy. And the integrity that comes with telling lies is, or the loss of integrity, is personal, I guess, to each individual. I am lying to myself right now. I do it every day. But yes, I'm chewing. And I chew tobacco at work. It's my big, one of my many faults. Excuse me. I quit smoking about, a few months back. And so I just used chew to help me get through the work day, because I enjoy chewing. All the little things I tell myself, I'm not going to sit here and try to justify it. It's a dirty habit. And I want to stop, and I'm going to stop on New Year's. That was my plan. Like last year I did it, and I'll do it again this year. But we tell ourselves lies all the time, and originally when I started out making this video, my thought was to make one about other people, being honest with other people. But then when I saw myself, I realized I am being honest with myself as well. I remember years ago getting into this honesty phase where I was really honest, brutally honest. If somebody asked me an opinion, does this look good? Or should I, anything like that, I'd give them the honest truth. I learned quickly that that's very tactless. And no matter how much you want to tell yourself that you have to be truthful all the time, there really are truths that are better off left as lies. Those are what we call white lies or little lies. And sometimes the little lies can multiply. So here's the trick, I think. If you're going to tell yourself a little lie or tell someone else a little lie, make sure it's benefiting them to do so. In other words, if someone says, if somebody says, how do these shoes look on me, and they look horrible, do you tell them they look horrible so they know better and then other people don't laugh at them? Or do you make them feel better about themselves by saying you look great in them, thereby everybody really looking at them to see that they look horrible in them? In other words, causing them more heartache by lying to them in the first place. It's kind of like the parent that lies to his kid, saying there's nothing out there, and makes it his kid twice as likely to run off when he finally does get out there. That's what happened to Buddha, Siddhartha, who became the first Buddha, which is not a god, it's just a state of Buddhahood. So he left his castle when he was, I think, 19 or something. His father had tried to keep him sheltered his whole life. He had everything he wanted. He was a prince, everything at his fingertips, kingdom. He'd never been outside the walls. But he got curious, and one night he snuck out. He finally got out past the guards, and he saw sickness, he saw death, he saw, poverty. And that little lie his parents had told him his whole life, and sheltering him, may have kept him from his misery in his current state up to that point. In other words, they've kept him locked up and sheltered from the world, and he's happy, but something's missing, and he gets out in the world and he sees it, and it becomes even more of a mission for him to find truth because he's been lied to for so long. Buddha's not one to aspire to Buddhahood, maybe, but Siddhartha himself, he made many mistakes. He was an ascetic for 7 years, right? And that's the way the story goes anyway, where they'd only eat, a few grains of rice a day, maybe. Very meager, very skinny, and they thought that was getting closest to God. So when I see this, I picture this Buddha, this guy Siddhartha trying to attain this enlightenment, and trying desperately by sitting and not eating. What kind of foolishness leads to such a decision to not eat? Why would any god or being or spirit put us on this planet? I'm saying that the intensity with which he searched out his truth was due to the lies that he'd been told. So, when we lie to ourselves, it's just as bad. I mean, lying to another person, little lies that aren't going to hurt anybody, things that won't come back on you. A good example would be, obviously, if you're sitting there, okay, let's say the husband and wife are sitting there, and the wife says, "How do I look? I got to go to the store really quick," and she's got her makeup smeared all over her face. You're gonna tell her. Otherwise, you can't say, "Oh, you look just fine." She'd kill you if she got back and found out you were lying. Let's say you're out hiking, and for some reason, your husband and the wife has makeup on out camping, and she smears her makeup camping. Nobody's gonna see her the entire day or the next day. You just tell her, what do you say? Do you say you look great, or do you say you have your makeup smeared? Or, that's a bad example, but it's the best one I could think of offhand. The situational lies, I guess. Not lies, I don't like that word. I would like it to, put it this way, lies, that word right there says it all. It lies. Once you tell it, it lies there. And it's always there. I mean, there's no way to retract a lie. So, lying to other people, yeah, I covered that. Okay, so we lie to other people, we try to use tact, use best judgment we can, and try to be as kind as we can to one another. But, oh wow, it's so dark out there. It's early in the morning, I'm waiting to get to work. I don't like to set up my tools until it's a little lighter. And I was just about to lie and say because it's safer. But would that be a lie, or would I just be expounding on the fact that I want to sit here for a minute? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the blatant lies. I'm talking about foolishness. And to me, this stems from our image of, I don't know, this perfect world or something. I don't know. I always loved that Little Lies, by Fleetwood Mac. It's a great song. It's one that always pops into my head when I say Little Lies, of course, or White Lies, or whatever you want to call them. But lying to other people, when you have to compound your lies over time, when you say something and then they may call you out on it later. This doesn't happen to me. I don't lie. I have lied, and I always get caught. So I don't feel right lying, but people do lie. I see people around me lie and get themselves into trouble. I've had friends who were maybe a little, maybe in a bad way, sometimes with drugs, let's say. It's a good example, because when you're under the influence of certain drugs, let's take methamphetamine, cocaine, or heroin, or any derivative thereof, of any of the three, those people tend to lie to themselves and to the world. And when you lie to yourself a lot, it's easier to lie to the world. And that's a conclusion I'm starting to understand a little better. If you can lie to other people, you can lie to yourself, but I can't lie to myself. The reason why I use this, why I'm chewing right now, is because I wanted to use that as an example. And I can lie and tell myself, well, it's just kind of a little bit of a nicotine, a motivation for work. Or it keeps me going. Or I'll quit tomorrow. I'll quit later. And I know it's wrong. And I know that it's bad. And I try not to lie to myself. But every day, I lie to myself by saying, I'll just buy one more can just for this week. Well, the lie ends tomorrow. It's New Year's Eve, so I guess that's just something I'll have to encounter with my own self. But imagine all the people that we're exposed to in our daily lives that we lie to. That we could lie to or not lie to. And as compared to like someone who say lives in a small community who knows everybody and really doesn't get out, maybe before the internet, before electricity, You lie in a town like that and you're banished. You know, you start lying and people call you out and you're a liar. There was an integrity that came with a smaller society. This is why I'm so adamant about small communities. When a politician lies, it's done so the people, often people, when a politician lies, people say, oh, they're doing it just in spite of us, to say basically, fuck you. Saying, I do what I want, I'm a politician. Now, George Bush did this a lot. I remember his speeches. A lot of people say, you know, Bush wasn't any worse, Obama's worse than Bush. And no, I don't agree, because while Obama may be lying, he doesn't sit there and look in your face and say, I'm going to do what I want and you can't do anything about it. And that's what Bush was doing. He says, you people don't know any better. I know what's right. I'm going to do this. I'm going to drill here. You know, the lies which a person tells are so much more if they're said by a politician, because of the amount of people they affect. But what I wanted to say about that was that the lies that they tell are often, even though they appear to be against the people, they're usually for more of the people, because they tell you what you want to hear. They don't tell me what I want to hear, but they tell the masses what they want to hear. These are conditioned lies, lies that are designed to keep a person looking good. People design all kinds of lies about their past and their upbringing, and you know, it must really suck to be a politician and bullshit your way through the world. But when somebody tells you a lie in your face, and you know you're lying, and you know they're lying, it makes you feel really shitty. So, don't do it. Try to be as honest as you can. And peace to everybody. Hope you're doing well.